Hello, Jo here from Minerva. Just a really quick one for you today. I want to show you how to do some tacking for when you want to mark some special features on a pattern. If you were taught to sew many years ago at school, generations in our family would always use a thread tack to mark the particular features on a pattern. Nowadays we have some different products that we can use, so we might use a chalk pencil or air erasable pen or carbon paper and a tracing wheel. But if you want to just mark your fabric without having any marks on it at all, then you need to know how to do a little tack. I'm making the Ozark vest, which is a gilet for men and women, and it's quite a lot of thick material, and it's not got many features on it. It's quite plain. It can be quite an urban style, but I want to make sure that the pockets are absolutely in the same place on each side of my jacket, because I don't want one pocket to be slightly higher or lower than another. So I want to make sure that when I mark the place on the pattern, my needle goes through the paper pattern, through the fabric for the left, through the fabric for the right side, so I'm getting exactly the same placement for my pockets. Here's how I did it. Right, so I don't always use tailor's tacks. If I'm marking a dart, I'll use some carbon paper because that's just one simple shape that's on the side of my blouse. I've sort of got an idea of where it's going to go. I've got a more complex pattern, so this is the Ozark vest, which is a gilet with pockets. I've got quite a sort of complex choice of where I can place my pocket placement. There's lots of lines, it's not totally clear which one is my pocket placement. So I've made a choice. I've cut a large, I've chosen the large line from the top to locate. I can't quite work out where the pocket goes to the bottom, but I know if I'm choosing the large line on the top, then my pocket will fit the rest of the way down. I'm going to use tailor's tacks because I want to make sure that my pockets are really accurate from the front. I don't want one pocket a little bit lower than another because it will spoil the overall look of my jacket, and I need to have pocket on this side of the fabric and the mirrored side. So if I tailor's tack, then it will go exactly through to the other side. So you thread your needle up with some different coloured thread, and you're going to mark these corner points. So I'm going to take through a double thread, so my thread is double here. I'm going to take it through and leave a nice long tail, and then I'm going to take the needle back through on the other side and leave a nice long tail, cut off my needle. So now I should have some threads coming from each side. So let me show you that a little bit closer. So that's quite a light coloured thread. Okay, I'm going to slowly peel away the pattern, but without taking it off. I'm going to peel away the next layer, and I'm going to cut between those layers. So now the entry and exit hole is still the same for this piece and for this piece, and then the paper can come off. So I've got a little piece of thread there, a little thread tack, and a little piece there. Then I'm going to mark this point, and this point, and I'm going to mark all the corner points so that I can make sure my pocket is square. When I'm placing my pocket on, I can make sure it's not just marked at the top and it can swing from left to right. I want to know where the bottom needs to end as well. So that's how you make tailor's tacks. I'll show you what it looks like when I take all the points. So when you've finished all your tacks, you could, if you join them all together, you would get the same shape as your pattern wants you to follow, instead of having any marks or chalk or a erasable pen that won't come off or anything like that, you can just pull these out at the end. So they're marking where to put the pocket. And of course, you will have exactly the same on the other side because you've pulled the threads through. You can use Tailor's tacks to mark lots of different things. You might use it to mark your dart apex and your dart leg points. You can also use it to mark button placements or buttonhole placements. So it's a really, and you think at first, oh, I can't be bothered to do all that, but actually it's really quick. You just put the needle through, pull it back through, snip it off, and then snip between the layers, and it's done. And it's really useful as well if you're marking pleats and you want your pleats to be really, really even, but you don't want any marks on your fabric. I hope that's helped you today. Do pop in again for more sewing tutorials. Thanks very much for watching.